This is Meteorologist Matthew East, and you have clicked on to the Thursday edition of the Tropical Weather Video. In short, the tropics right now, very, very quiet. That's the National Hurricane Center Tropical Weather Outlook. And, of course, they are indicating no tropical activity expected here over the next 48 hours or so. Let me show you a couple areas I'm watching, though. First of all, there's this morning's satellite imagery of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. And notice a nice flare-up of thunderstorm activity around the Lesser Antilles. That's with that tropical wave we've been watching move across the Atlantic Ocean over the past 4 to 5 days. There is a flare-up of thunderstorm activity with that, but really no sign of development with that tropical wave. Farther out in the Atlantic Ocean, once you get behind that tropical wave in the islands, it's very quiet across the Atlantic Ocean. Absolutely nothing going on. Here's the reason why. That's the water vapor satellite imagery. And in the eastern Atlantic, very dry air is, for the time being, taken over. And as long as that's the case, certainly no tropical development going to occur with that in place. All right, a couple of the models I want to show you. This is the GFS model. This is valid out early next week. And what we're looking at here is basically a broad area of lower pressures here across the Caribbean Sea, but no significant organization picked up on the GFS with that. But notice we are beginning to see here a tropical wave emerge off of Africa. It looks like we could see that African wave train activity try to pick up a bit by later on next week. Here again is the GFS. This is valid at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And we do have our little weak area of low pressure. Basically on the GFS, it's not more than an area of lower pressure. It's not a real closed-off low there, but off the coast of the Carolinas. And the NAM, a little more organized with that. There is that low pressure off of the Carolina coast on the NAM, and it's a little more pronounced on the NAM modeling. But either way, it looks like there's a good chance that inverted trough or that low pressure could develop, but very little impacts in terms of significant weather for the Carolinas. But I do need to mention, again, if you're heading to the beach by especially Sunday and Monday, there could be some rainy activity if we do indeed see that low pressure develop. I think it probably will develop, but just it's not going to develop up into anything overly significant. Now let's look ahead about 1 week. This is the GFS modeling once again. And notice off of the Carolina coast, another one of those inverted troughs trying to develop, and actually the European also on board with that scenario. There is the European model run. This is valid at 8 o'clock next Thursday evening, the 25th of September. And it has an area of low pressure developing off the southeast coast as well. So again, both the GFS and the European modeling indicating that's a possibility. So maybe 1 week from now, we might see some sort of hybrid tropical type development trying to occur off of the coast. That remains to be seen, but of course, we'll keep watching it. All right, reminders, if you want to drop me an email, matthew.east@news14.com. My blog address, of course, mattheweast.blogspot.com. And News 14 Carolina, Time Warner Cable Channel 14 in the Charlotte, Triad, Triangle, and Wilmington television markets, and on the web at www.news14.com. That's it for today's edition of the Tropical Weather Video. Everyone have a great Thursday, and God bless.